So let me be clear, Mr. President. How can you drain the swamp if you're the one who keeps muddying the waters? You didn't know about that $130,000 payment to a porn star until you did.
Neil Cavuto, a well-known face on Fox News, has faced more than his share of life-threatening challenges. From being diagnosed with multiple sclerosis to surviving cancer and undergoing open-heart surgery, Cavuto's health struggles would have ended most careers, but he continues to thrive in the demanding world of television news. Today, we're taking a closer look at his resilience, both in his personal life and professional career. Early life and career. Neil Cavuto was born September 22, 1958, in Westbury, New York, and he grew up in a middle-class household. His father worked as a sales executive, and his mother was a homemaker and later worked as a United Nations staffer. From a young age, Cavuto displayed a strong work ethic, which later became a hallmark of his career. He attended St. Bonaventure University, where he graduated with a degree in mass communication. His passion for journalism was evident early on, and his ambition drove him to pursue a career in broadcasting. Cavuto's big break came when he joined CNBC, where he made a name for himself as a business journalist. He covered significant financial stories, including the 1987 stock market crash. His sharp insights and ability to explain complex financial matters to the public caught the attention of viewers and executives alike. In 1996, Fox News tapped Cavuto to help launch its business news coverage. As the managing editor of Fox Business Network and the anchor of Your World with Neil Cavuto, he became one of the network's most recognized faces. But he remained humble about his rise in the world of television. He once said, quote, "I'm a guy who got lucky. I had a great work ethic, but I was also fortunate to be in the right place at the right time." Diagnosis of multiple sclerosis.
I just try to tell people with the disease or any kind of malady, life is, as John Kennedy once said, unfair, but you just have to deal.
In 1997, Cavuto received a diagnosis that forever altered the course of his life. Multiple sclerosis, or MS, a chronic illness that attacks the central nervous system. For someone working in the high-pressure environment of live television, the diagnosis was both physically and emotionally devastating. MS is known for causing debilitating symptoms like fatigue, muscle weakness, and vision problems, issues that would make even the most routine aspects of his job a challenge. Still, he refused to let the disease sideline his career. Quote, "It's not about whether you're going to fall, it's about how you're going to pick yourself up," he once remarked. The disease presented many obstacles, but Cavuto was determined to push forward. He continued to anchor his shows, sometimes visibly struggling with the physical limitations imposed by MS. He's openly shared the difficulties of maintaining his rigorous work schedule while managing flare-ups, stating there were days when getting out of bed felt nearly impossible. Despite this, Cavuto's viewers rarely saw him complain or shy away from the challenges. Battling cancer. Before his battle with MS, Neil Cavuto faced another life-altering diagnosis, Hodgkin's lymphoma. In 1987, at age 29, he was diagnosed with this form of cancer, which affects the body's lymphatic system. At the time, he was just beginning to make his mark in business journalism, and the news came as a crushing blow. However, Cavuto's reaction was characteristic of his resilience. Rather than stepping back from his career, he forged ahead, undergoing aggressive chemotherapy and radiation treatments while continuing to work. Cavuto has spoken candidly about the emotional toll the diagnosis took on him, particularly at such a young age. Quote, "You can feel like the world is closing in on you," he once said. Yet, even in his most vulnerable moments, he remained determined to push through. Quote, "I had two choices. I could get busy living or I could get busy dying," he has stated, quoting the famous line from The Shawshank Redemption. His recovery was long and difficult, but eventually Cavuto emerged cancer-free. The experience left an indelible mark on him not only in terms of his health, but also in how he approached life. He often referred to his cancer battle as a wake-up call, reminding him of the fragility of life and the importance of perseverance. Undergoing heart surgery. As if battling MS and cancer weren't enough, Neil Cavuto faced yet another serious health scare in 2016 when he underwent open heart surgery. This time it was due to complications related to his years of treatment and health conditions, which had placed an incredible strain on his body. The surgery was a necessary and life-saving measure, and Cavuto has been open about how harrowing the experience was. Quote, "It was like all of my health demons came together at once," he shared during an interview. The surgery took a toll on him physically and emotionally. Cavuto described feeling as though he was once again confronting his mortality, a battle he had become all too familiar with. Quote, "I've been to the brink of death so many times, you start to wonder if you'll ever just get a break." Yet in typical Cavuto fashion, he didn't let the surgery mark the end of his career. Instead, he used the time to reflect on how far he'd come and how lucky he felt to have another chance at life. After a lengthy recovery period, Cavuto returned to work, much to the surprise of many. His ability to bounce back from such a significant medical event was a testament to his determination and drive. His heart surgery became yet another chapter in a long series of health battles, but Cavuto has never allowed these personal struggles to derail his professional life. In fact, they've made him even more grateful for the career and platform he's built. Quote, "I'm still here," he once said, "and that's more than enough."
This doctor would not allow it. Dr. Scheineman said there is a way to beat this and deal with this. Keep at it and never give up.
Public backlash over COVID vaccine support. Despite facing a series of life-threatening health challenges, Neil Cavuto remained dedicated to his role as a public figure and commentator. During the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, Cavuto made headlines not for his health, but for his vocal support of COVID vaccines. Having experienced the effects of the illness firsthand, Cavuto was a strong advocate for vaccination, believing it was a critical tool in fighting the pandemic. On air, he openly discussed his decision to get vaccinated and encouraged others to do the same, especially those with compromised immune system, as he himself had. However, his pro-vaccine stance did not sit well with some of his viewers. Cavuto faced a wave of backlash, particularly from those skeptical of the vaccine or who opposed it outright. The hostility he encountered wasn't limited to online criticism. He also received death threats for his position. Quote, "I've been called every name in the book and then some," Cavuto shared in an interview, addressing the vitriol directed at him. Despite the threats, Cavuto stood firm in his convictions, explaining that his health history made him keenly aware of the importance of vaccines in protecting vulnerable populations. Cavuto's experience with the backlash is a reminder of the divisiveness that marked much of the public conversation around COVID-19. In response to the hate, he simply stated, "I don't like the anger, I don't like the divisiveness, but I know what I know." His decision to stay vocal about his support for the vaccine, despite the risks, speak to his courage and commitment to using his platform for what he believes is the greater good. Personal life. He's been married to Mary Fulling since 1983, and their marriage has been a source of strength for him, particularly as he faced his various health crises. Cavuto has often praised his wife for her unwavering support, saying, quote, "She's the reason I'm still here. I wouldn't have made it through without her." Their relationship has endured the trials of his illnesses, and Mary has been a constant by his side, helping him through some of the most challenging times in his life. They have 3 children together, and Cavuto has always expressed deep gratitude for his family. Despite his demanding career, he's made it clear that his family comes first, especially when his health has taken a turn for the worse. Now it's time to hear from you. Which part of Neil's story inspires you the most? Let us know in the comments section below.